Alright guys, it is still April 8th from my last video, but we are in the lower Susquehanna now. This place is loaded with frogs, as you can hear all the crazy noises that are being made, but it's also loaded with shiners. There's lots of shiners swimming around here. So we're going to be trying to catch some cool stuff today, hopefully find some fish I don't have on my life list yet, but we're gonna scan along the creek here and see if we can come up with anything cool and avoid all these frogs and toads and whatever heck's in the water here. Yeah, so let's get baited up and let's get in there. We got the Tanago on the ugly stick, so we have a little bit more range. We don't necessarily have to immerse ourselves fully in this creek to catch what we're after. Hopefully you guys can hear me over all these frogs, because these things are insanely loud. But yeah, enough talking, let's get to fishing. Alright, we got baited up here. Now we're going to see if we can get one of these shiners to bite to start. And we'll start looking for some other things. These frogs are almost hurting my ears. Alright guys, we got our first fish of the day here. This is, well, first fish of the evening. We caught fish earlier today. This is a banded killifish, an eastern banded killifish to be exact. But we're going to take a shot at this guy and then we're going to let him go. Got ourselves our second species of the day, a little tessellated darter. We're going to go ahead and take a hook out, let him go. Alright guys, really cool catch here. I'm keeping this fish in the water because this fish is vulnerable in the state of Pennsylvania. This here is a Chesapeake Logperch. They are a threatened species because of pollution. A lot of agriculture occurs in this area and a lot of fertilizers get into the water, which is not healthy for the fish. And over the years, populations have just declined. This was once thought to be the common logperch, but it was recently described as its own species in 2009 or 2011, I believe. So we are going to take extra good care of this fish. The reason I only targeted him is because I thought he was a possible banded darter, but obviously not a banded darter here. This is the vulnerable Chesapeake Logperch. So we are going to go ahead and carefully release this guy and let him go back into his home here in this creek here in the lower Susquehanna basin. So very cool catch, but we're going to let him go because this species is threatened and we want him to live a happy life. You guys may or may not be able to see it, but underneath of me there is a Chesapeake Logperch, so it's good to see that the population is healthy here. Now it looks like a darter from above, obviously, because it is a species of darter, but it's got 3 black blotches along its back here, and that signifies the Chesapeake Logperch, and there's another one right there. So very cool to see a healthy population of these guys in here. But it looks like the other species of darter I am after doesn't live in this creek here, so I may be vamoosing to another spot here shortly. There's another darter right down here. I think it's just a tessellated, but we'll give it a shot, see if he wants to bite. Nope, he did not like that. He saw the bait. Oh, I had him. He took our worm. But yeah, definitely another tessellated here. So probably gonna vamoose to that aforementioned spot. We're gonna go down into Maryland, see if we can come up with a banded darter. Alright guys, I've targeted, or I've seen a darter here. I don't know if this is the one we're after or not, but Give it a shot, see if he wants to bite. Oh, got him. And it is tessellated. Yep, just another tessellated. Not this target species here. So we're looking for a darter that looks different from that. That should be our target. Looks like another tessellated there. Let's find something different. That's another tessellated. I think we're looking for something a little bit stockier with darker markings. And that should be our banded darter, Ethiostoma zonale, or zonale. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it's a zonale. That's the scientific name or Latin name for the banded darter we were after. There's like a muskrat or a beaver or something just chilling, flowing down the creek here. Looks like it gets deeper in the main creek here, so we'll try and stay in the shallows and see if we can find them. Alright guys, well it looks like all these darters here are tessellated darters. I would cross the creek and try on the other side, or maybe look for different habitat, but I'm not too familiar with this spot, so I don't know how deep it gets. And I just had a muskrat squirrel behind me come up to the surface and like slap its body or whatever around. Yeah, you might be able to see his eye reflecting. He's going that way right now. But that thing just scared the living crap out of me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the time out on this spot to a later date. And yeah, you maybe heard that. That was that muskrat again. I don't like that. Eerie enough fishing in the dark by yourself sometimes, so any extra added noises are not a welcome. So I'm gonna go to my last spot now. Hopefully there's no muskrats around, and see if we can pick up a couple other species for the night, and then we'll call it a day after that. So let's go try that out. Alright guys, we made it to spot number 3, our third and final spot. Not sure how long we'll stick around here, but this spot should have some blue ridge sculpin, and that is what we're going to be looking for here. I already have blue ridge sculpin on my life list, but I only caught 2 before, so maybe we'll try and find a third while we're out here. So yeah, we got our Tanago rigged up, and now let's start looking for some fish. Well guys, so far I'm not seeing any blue ridge sculpins. I'm seeing some small day species, which I'm not even going to attempt to target because I have both day species and they're just kind of blah to catch. Long nose dace are cool, but eastern black nose dace I caught probably hundreds of. So we're going to leave them alone. Only on the lookout for sculpins here. Alright, we caught one of the mystery fish, and it's just the eastern black nose dace. Pretty boring stuff right there. But that was the only interesting thing that seemed to be in this hole. I didn't see any sculpins in there, but we're just going to go ahead and let that guy go. The sculpins should be exposing themselves more at night, so I shouldn't have to be punching holes in rocks and just hoping That one shows up. Alright guys, unfortunately I think that is going to do it for today's video. I've been fishing for about a little over 2 hours probably underneath the cover of darkness, and came up with one new species, that being the Chesapeake Logperch. Now I'd like to reiterate that the Chesapeake Logperch is a highly threatened species and is endangered. So it was not the intention of my catch. I was looking for other species of darters, banded in particular, and one of the darters I was targeting turned out to be a Chesapeake Logperch, so I kept it in the water, except for a quick photograph, and the fish was released safely to live another day. And then I did not mess with any more Chesapeake Logperch, and it's important that you guys do the same. Chesapeake Logperch are threatened due to habitat loss. Pollution destroys a lot of their home waters. They require cold and clean water in the lower Susquehanna and Chesapeake drainages. So if you were to ever be in one of those areas and come across a Chesapeake Logperch, try and leave them alone as best as you can. And if you do happen to catch one by bycatch, make sure you try and keep it in the water as much as possible and release the fish safely, whether you accidentally net one or accidentally hook one like I did. Be sure to handle them with care, because they are an endangered species, and we will make sure that there are plenty more to inhabit these streams in the future years. So with that note, that is going to do it for today's episode. I know it wasn't very much to it. It wasn't very long. There's a toad or some sort of frog bellowing right here. Seems to be a common theme tonight everywhere I go. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and walk back down this creek and exit the premises. All I did was catch a eastern black-nosed ace here, so not very much happening here. There's supposed to be blue-ridge scope in here, which I believe there definitely is, but we're just not seeing any tonight. I think I would have to go up the creek another half mile or so to really have good success with that, but I'm not gonna bother with that tonight because it's already like 11 o'clock and I still want to try and get to sleep at a decent time because I got work tomorrow. So I will see you guys on the next episode of the Ville Outdoors. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I know it was kind of dark and hard to see things and didn't really do a whole lot of filming, but my purpose is to educate, not always to entertain, although I do like to entertain. But education comes first, especially when you encounter threatened or endangered species like we did today. So let's hop on out of here and get the hour drive home going.